Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hololab Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1998 Mugen Civic Ferio. A very cool car indeed. This is the 5th Mugen to take on the course. There's a lot of Mugens in this game, and this is their tuned version of the 4-door Civic, which, as I mentioned in my video on the 96 Civic Ferio, is a car that I like a lot. And this one looks cooler than that one because that one had a really bad race mod. I'm not sure what I think of this sort of champagne silver, but I like the wheels, I like the wing. Even the D-badge grille, which is usually something I really don't like, does look quite cool on this. Unfortunately, for all the cool in the world, statistically this is not great. We've spoken about how tuned cars in this game usually start off better than the standard car, but in terms of outright tuning potential, they fall apart quickly, and this is one of those. Front engine, front wheel drive, 248 horsepower, 1,039 kilos. Those are pretty mediocre stats, so might need to brace myself a little bit for this one. Anyways, this car is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Mitsubishi GTO LM Edition, set as home at 27.223. The Civic Ferio is unlikely to beat that. We have had one Civic Ferio go around the course. It was the 96, not the 98, which is what this one's based off, but let's be honest, they're basically the same. That car set a 30.3. It's one of the quickest front-wheel drive cars we've had, but that also had like 320 horsepower and a turbocharger, and this has 250 and does not. In terms of where this should be looking at, I think Mugen Accord 31.5. I don't think this will be as quick as that. Honda Integra SII SIRG 31.876. I think somewhere around there would suit this car quite well. Hopefully it's quicker than the Mugen CRX, which was not a particularly quick car. So, I mean, CRXs in general have not been very quick. The quickest CRX we've had, Del Sol 32.006, but we had the Mugen Pro 2, I think it was, and yeah, that car was not very quick. I think it's like 32.1, something like that. But I think this is automatically quicker than that. Hopefully this can be the Ford Ka. It'll break my heart a little bit if a Ford Ka is quicker than the Civic. Admittedly, the Ford Ka weighed a lot less than this does. I mean, in terms of like a car for like the early game events and stuff, I think this inexplicably comes out of the 80s Sports Car Cup, which adds to the weirdness. I mean, obviously compared to some of the prizes you can get from that little group of races, this one pales in comparison to stuff like the Silhouette Skyline, but you know, for some of the early game events, I'm sure this is pretty okay. Just by the time you get stuff like the 80 Sports Car Cup, unless you actively go towards it at the start of the game, which, let's be honest, in terms of like prizes and progression and all that sort of stuff, you definitely should. This one, probably, you're going to have better cars than this by the time that you get to something like this, but still, 21.627, that did leap up quite quickly in lap time, so that's good. It is very uncomplicated to drive, so like I say, good beginner car. This would be a great car if you got it from like the Clubman Cup, but you don't. So, or Sunday Cup even. If this was like a prize for the Sunday Cup, I get why they didn't put prizes in the Sunday Cup. The one time they showed restraint in the design of GT2 was apparently the Sunday Cup, but still. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's quicker than the Ka, so we should definitely take some solace in that. But yeah, it's just nowhere near the level of the actual sort of Mugen Civic, or sorry, the Honda Civic Ferio that you can get from the dealer. But not a bad car. Very nice, very cool to look at, as mentioned. Yeah, good, solid, drives nicely, great beginner car. Just by the time that you get this car. you're not going to be much of a beginner anymore. So, yeah. Anyways, 31.627 places this into 220th place, which admittedly doesn't sound great, but we have had 293 cars go around the course now. So, solid sort of bottom 25%, I guess. Yeah, it's quicker than the Fairlady Z version S, quicker than the... Do I have to check that? Yes, it is. Quicker than the Fairlady Z version S, quicker than the 427 Stingray, quicker than Dodge Avenger, Peugeot 306, quicker than the Ka. Like I say, it's significantly quicker than the CRX Pro 2. I mean, so far with the Mugen cars, if you are going to go for one of these, Civic should probably be quite low on your list. Obviously, this loses out stuff like the Accord, the S2000, and the Integra, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.
Just where my hopes and dreams are going. I'll only got up in a wall that you are not part of. Eyes on the slit of your father.